Today, protagonists Plato and Descartes go into a bar and find someone to challenge with a famous philosophical question. Hopefully, whoever our two philosophers engage won't be too intimidated to come up with a strong objection. Hopefully, this will lead to a thrilling philosophical debate that can grant us new perspective and possibly resolution.
Hey yo, this is Plato.
And this is Descartes.
We're about to go find one of the best young minds in this here really crappy bar, and we're gonna challenge it.
So I'm just chilling at the bar, and these two weirdos that I kind of remember from class walked in and are talking about challenging a young mind, and I'm pretty smart, so let's see what's up. Whoa, slow down. If you drink too much, you won't be able to think clearly.
Hey Descartes, you're kind of smart. How can something that's physical affect something that's not physical?
What are you talking about?
I mean, how can this beer right here affect this great mind right here?
It's called getting drunk. Alcohol produces an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase. Essentially, if you drink more than your liver can process, then you're drunk.
Wrong. You're missing the question. We're trying to understand how something physical like alcohol can affect something non-physical, like our judgment or our perception of beauty.
Well, judgment is a product of our frontal lobe activity, and beauty is just our perception based on visual information processed through the occipital lobe. Both these lobes are physical. I have literally cut each of them in half and held them in my hand.
You may have been able to hold these portions of the brain in your hand, but it is absurd to think that you have held the concept of judgment or beauty. Think about it this way. The brain can be divided into as many pieces as humanly possible, but the concept of beauty cannot. Something cannot be half beautiful.
Have you seen my husband?
Plato, I think she got us.
Look, dumbass, I may not know what a smartphone is, but I do know something about the soul, or as our friend Descartes calls it, the mind. Look, you went to college. You should already know about my theory of forms. Look at the three of us. We're all beautiful, intelligent men and women. We can identify as beautiful because we have an idea of beauty itself. Much like the concept of beauty relates to beautiful people, the mind relates to the body.
What the hell? How does that concept make any sense? Please excuse my French.
Did somebody say French?
No one cares, Descartes.
Hold my beer. Let me educate this young scientist once again.
Oh snap, she about to get it!
Look at it this way. We can become less beautiful with age, but the concept of beauty remains the same. No matter how much we change, the concept of beauty will not change. Beauty is a mental process, and something that is beautiful is physical.
Word.
Okay, well, you can't argue with physics. If I have this ball right here and hits that ball right there, a physical force had to act in order to make the ball move. How did my mind communicate to my body and make it move if it's not physical?
Your mind directed the action, but your brain actually carried out the physical action of telling your body what to do. Think of the pool cue as your brain, the initial ball you strike as your body, and the second ball which fell into the pocket as a physical object that was moved, and think of your mind as the intention you had to make the ball move strategically. Like this. I scratched. We're done with pool, Descartes. We're done.
We're in the middle of a game.
No, beer.
Now that we lost our pool privileges, we might have to think of it this way. A story is a non-physical thing, but it can cause you to smile, cry, frown, or laugh. All these actions were driven by a non-physical entity. Furthermore, all these reactions you experience are physical.
Wow, this philosophy thing isn't just a bunch of pointless mumbo jumbo after all. Maybe it actually is useful and logical, and not just a bunch of abstract thinking that has no relevance to real life.
Oh really? We had no idea. Damn frontal lobe.
Word, Plato. Go ahead and metaphorically drop the mic, as kids say these days.
That's it. The bar's closing, and I'm tired of listening to your pointless conversations. Please get the hell out. Finally.
I guess I'll go back to my hotel room alone.
Thank God. Thought this thing had hemlock in it.
Bloopers!
Action.
Wait, no. Well, judgment is a product of our frontal lobe. Wait, no.
You may have been able to hold these portions of the brain in your hand, but it is absurd to think that you have held the concept of judgment or beauty, obviously. Think about it this way. The brain can be divided into... Shit, I messed it up.
Look, dumbass, I may not know what a smartphone is, but I do know something about the soul, or as our friend Descartes calls it, the mind. Look, you're not supposed to turn that shit?
What the hell? That concept makes no sense. It pleases. Oh, God.
Hold my beer. Let me educate this young scientist once again. Hold my beer. Let me educate this young scientist once again. Hold my beer. Let me educate this young scientist once again. Hold my beer. Let me educate this... Hold my beer. Let me educate...
Okay, well, you can't argue with physics. If I get this ball right here and it hits... Okay, well, you can't argue with physics. If I get this ball and it hits that ball over there, then how did... A physical force had to act in order to make the ball move. How did my mind communicate to my body and make it move if it's not physical?
Your mind directed the action, but your brain actually carried out the physical action of telling your body what to do. Think of the pool cue as your brain, the initial ball you strike as your body, and the second ball right over there as the physical object that was moved. And you know what? Think of your mind as the intent you have to place it in the hole.
Did somebody say French?